Welcome everyone to part 2 of the National Drive Electric Week virtual event. My name is Jason Rouse and I'm a local Tesla owner and EV enthusiast. Thank you to Palmetto Clean Fuels, Renew Energy, and Duke Energy for presenting part 1. We've got an exciting lineup for part 2. We're going to kick it off with Greenville Luxury presenting us the Jaguar I-Pace and the Porsche Taycan Turbo. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Lee McLellan and Kyle Adams with Greenville Luxury.
Good morning. Welcome to Greenville Porsche. I'm Lee McLellan and I'm here at Porsche Greenville here in beautiful Greenville, South Carolina. And it is my pleasure today to introduce you to the Porsche Taycan. The Porsche Taycan is actually Porsche's first all-electric vehicle. And it's the end result of a project called Mission E that started about a decade ago. And the whole idea of Mission E was to get an electric vehicle from concept to the floor. And here it is. First, let's start here at the front end. It's unmistakably a Porsche. You'll notice the sleek in the aerodynamic form. You'll also notice this quartet of daytime running lights, which is actually Porsche's signature. And directly underneath those lights, you'll notice vents that allow the air to flow seamlessly so that the vehicle can be silent as it passes. The next thing you notice are the wheels and the brakes behind them. Now, these wheels are actually set up for steel plates. Now, these are solid so that they would keep the brake dust to a minimum, but behind these wheels are a set of PSCB brakes. Now, that stands for Porsche Surface Coated Brakes. The brakes are actually coated in tungsten, which has one of the highest melting temperatures of any metal out there. So these brakes are actually perfectly suited for high-speed braking and for repetitive high-speed braking. Now, one of the benefits of PSCB brakes is that they have absolutely no brake dust. The next thing to notice is a charging port. Now, there's charging ports here and there's one on the other side, but they are different. They do different things. And I will explain that as we go outside and we test the vehicle on the road. Next thing that I'd like you to notice is the sleek form of the vehicle. Now, this is not by accident, this is by design. And it starts with the batteries. The batteries are liquid cooled, they're lithium ion, and they're spread all on the floor of the vehicle. That helps the vehicle to actually have a lower center of gravity. At its highest point, this vehicle is 54.4 inches high. It has a drag coefficient of 0.22. Now, what that really translates into is a highly aerodynamic vehicle. As a matter of fact, this is the most aerodynamic vehicle that Porsche has out right now in production. Now, the next question I get asked all the time is what makes a vehicle grow, or makes a vehicle go, I should say. There's two electric motors, one in the front, one in the rear. The one in the front goes through a gearbox. The one in the rear goes through a 2-speed transmission. Now, what makes this thing go so quickly is that the power goes straight from the batteries to the gearbox to the wheels. The battery to the transmission to the wheels. In a combustion system, the gas would go boom in the engine, then it has to go down an axle, through a differential, and finally gets to the wheels. Every time that power goes someplace else aside from to the wheels, you lose a little bit of it. Well, in a system like this, all the power goes directly from the source to the wheel. Now, what that translates into in real world, in a combustion car, you go vroom. In an electric vehicle, particularly a Taycan, you go and you just go. Now, why do we have a transmission in the rear? The whole idea behind having a transmission in the rear is so that we have a capability of extra acceleration. You'll notice this in the sport modes and the sport plus modes, which we'll demonstrate again when we get outside. When we come to the rear of the vehicle, one of the things that I get asked the most, it's not how much cargo can I carry, it's not will it fit or anything else, but it's will it fit my clubs. So we're about to find out. The Taycan has a trunk space of 14.3 cubic feet. So I take a set of clubs and I'm able to easily fit the clubs in the back. And that's with the driver. Now, let's go to the outside so we can see how this vehicle's charged and we can see how this vehicle rides. Come with me. Now, I hope you guys remember me saying that there's two different charging ports on this vehicle, one on either side. This one here, this fits the charging system that comes with the vehicle. This is a simple AC adapter. You'll plug it up, you'll plug the adapter into the wall. You'll be able to charge your vehicle from 0 all the way up to 100, but it will take you about 10 hours to do it. The next is this over here. This is what makes it special. This is your DC fast charger. You'll notice the extra prongs right here. This charger is designed to work with this. This is a DC fast charger. There are DC fast chargers all over America. As a matter of fact, Electrify America has over 9,300 of them spread throughout the United States. You can't go anywhere without being able to find one of these. Now, a DC fast charger, actually, they come in a couple of different varieties, anywhere from 50 to 150 kilowatts, all the way up to a max charge like this one, which is 250 kilowatts. If you get a 50, it'll take you approximately 90 minutes to go from 5% up to 80%. However, if you get one of these, that's a 250 kilowatt, you'll be able to go all the way from 5% to 80% in right at 23 minutes. So you can easily fit charging into your day. The vehicle will actually plot itself to go from charge point to get you to where you would like to be. Now, one other big thing about this is that when you purchase one of these vehicles, you'll actually get 3 years of free charging through Electrify America. Now, let's hop in the vehicle so that we can see how some of these features actually play out on the road. First thing to notice, as soon as I hopped in the vehicle knows that I'm here. I didn't have to turn it on. It knew. Putting the vehicle into gear is the easiest thing in the world. Hit a switch right there to the right, and away we go. And you'll notice the camera system and the quality of the images. Easy to operate touch screens. Here, and surprisingly, here. Every screen here has touchscreen capabilities. Your forward screen is completely configurable, and it's configurable at the touch of your thumb right here on the right of the steering wheel. For instance, if I wanted to change this, I press a button, I scroll through my options, I press a button again, and there's my new choice. I can put my power meter on my map. I can put my navigation to my screen here. Compass. Whatever I need to do at the time, I can do just with my thumb. Now, this vehicle can go from 0 to 60 in just about 3 seconds. But 0 to 60 doesn't really translate to anything on the street. Speed is not just for the sake of speed. Speed is actually for safety. And picture this. Let's just say that you are in the middle of a left turn and you notice out of your peripheral vision that that guy ran the light. What are you going to do? Are you going to hit the brakes and get hit? Or are you going to hit the gas and get out of danger? That's what speed is for. So right now I'm at 35 miles an hour. Let's say I need to get to 50. I can go from 35 to 50 before I can finish saying 35 to 50. Another situation that you'll find yourself in is passing on the freeway or entering the freeway here in a town like Greenville. Whenever Greenville was built, whoever built it was never expecting it to grow. So I can think of about 5 or 6 places where you get on the freeway and you're there in the slow lane in less than 100 feet. And you're there in less than 100 feet, and there's that 18-wheeler behind you, and he's really not trying to slow down for you. So you have to go from 50 to 70. And to go from 50 to 70, again, can be done before you can say 50 to 70. All of that power is at your command at any time that you need. And one thing about this is that you can do that all day without damaging the battery or putting it into any kind of a protective mode. The batteries here are designed so that you can push them over and over and over and over again throughout your day and still make it home to charge again. A lot of people wonder exactly how an electric vehicle can fit into their lives. They wonder, am I going to lose anything? Am I going to lose power? Am I going to be inconvenienced? Am I going to be safe? The answer really is no, you're not going to be inconvenienced. You're definitely not going to lose power. You have escapability that you do not have in a combustion system. You're able to stay safe, and you're able to do something wonderful for the environment. The Taycan is, well, in my opinion, one of the finest machines built. But it's not the only machine. It's called the iPixel. This is Kyle Adams, and he's going to tell you all about it.
Thanks so much, Lee. Guys, welcome. We really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day and letting us show us these beautiful vehicles. I mean, state of the art. So let's get to it. This is the Jaguar I-Pace. Beautiful design. The actual design is actually based off the Jaguar performance car, the CX-75. A lot of bulging corners here give it that more of a leaper stance that the Jaguar is known for. The overall length of this vehicle is 184 inches. The width of the vehicle is 84 inches. Another cool little feature about this, the wheels are all the way to the corners, giving you the longest wheelbase that Jaguar has ever produced. Fun little fact, the actual wheelbase is 2 inches longer than your standard Range Rover. Yes, so you're actually getting that actual Range Rover air suspension ride, but even better. And the cabin just makes it just streamless and quiet on the inside of that as well. These cars also very, very aerodynamic. Lots of front vents in the vehicle. You have 2 in the front, and you also have one that goes up into the grille. You can probably actually see light through here. So those aerodynamics are actually going to make the wind stream come up through the glass, through the top, and out through the spoiler. So the spoiler here also gives you that airflow to where the back windshield does not actually need a windshield wiper. The aerodynamics are going to force the the water off the back windshield of the car. And also from the bottom, you're getting the diffuser down there. Big part of keeping all the drag off of the car, coefficient drag. So the drag of the car is about 0.29. The handles also retract whenever you drive away. When you get up to about 5 miles an hour, they will retract. The car does have a dual motor system. There is one in the front. There is also another in the rear. The two combined come up to about 394 horsepower. The amount of range that you're realistically going to get on this car, when you're in an urban setting, you'll probably get anywhere from 215 to 220. But when you're on that highway interstate drive, you're probably more realistically going to get about 185 or 190 tops. And you know, whenever you're driving, you're using a lot of the features. The battery of this car is actually underneath, it's giving it so much more handling with the battery underneath the car. It's keeping that weight down on the bottom. And you're getting a little bit more control out of the vehicle when it comes to handling. Also, saying that, you also have torque vectoring by braking. So what that means, this car is a real performance vehicle. It's also a luxury vehicle at the same time. So with the performance side of it, whenever you're taking those sharp turns in this car, you're definitely going to feel the performance side. And with the torque vectoring by braking, that means the inside wheels are actually going to slow down and giving more power to the outside wheels coming around turns. So you're definitely going to be able to feel the performance side of this vehicle. The car is definitely got some space in here as well. The trunk space in here. This does have a gesture tailgate. You can kick your foot up underneath there and it will pop out. And also too, springs to show, the car does come with its own home charger. The cubic feet in the trunk is 25 cubic feet. And then whenever the seats are folded down, it's just over doubling your size. So if you ever need any kind of, you know, traveling situation where it's just the two, husband and wife, you can certainly fold the seats down and you got plenty of room to put whatever you need in there. And yes, for the golfers out there, you can fit as many as however many golf bags you want to fit in there. Beautiful, beautiful design with the trunk. On the interior, since this car does not have a transmission underneath like most cars do, you're actually got more of a forward-facing cabin, so you get some more spacing in the back as well. Now, in saying that, the Jaguar is known for having that pro driver seat. So whenever you're in this car, you know you're in a performance vehicle. The system is Touch Pro Duo. And with Touch Pro Duo, you do have a top and a bottom screen. The top screen is going to be primarily more of your nav, radio, and the phone connection. So, Jag still wants you to have that feeling of luxuriousness when you're sitting in this performance vehicle. So what better way to have the Touch Pro Duo? You have your gear shifters here as well. The car does have air suspension where you can raise and lower the vehicle. This car actually does have a weighting depth of 33 meters. The air controls, very easy, just pull knob there to lower fan speed. Each customer has their own way of controlling the inside of the car. Very futuristic look on the steering wheel, all digital. You can control everything. Your display here is all digital. You can certainly put whatever you desire on the screen. Let's see, get a full screen map in here. So, I mean, it's ready to travel whenever you are. You also have the availability on the nav system here. When you put a destination in, it'll show you how far you can actually go before the car is going to need a charge. And you can also see the different charging locations that are in the area. The car will show you everywhere. Fantastic vehicle for that sort of thing. Does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto as well. 14-way folding seats in here. You do have a heated and cooled seat option as well. So just push down for the seat on the knob, and then you just go to the left for cooled, right for heat. The actual car itself does have 3 trim levels. So you have S, SE, and what we're in now at HSE. So your S is going to be standard with your heated seats. Everything here that you see would be standard on this car. The only thing that would not be standard, of course, is like your cooled seats, but those you can get in the SE and higher options as well. You do have a massive, massive moonroof, and it is super, super tinted in here as well. And so it does get a little warm, but you can barely feel it in the car. It's warm to the touch, of course, on the hot days. But if you precondition the vehicle before you get in the car through the Jaguar remote app, you can actually get the cabin cooled down or warmed up, whichever your heart desires during that time of year. The car is outfitted with 2 LED J-blade lights. Let me turn those on real quick. 2 J-blade lights that the car is outfitted with. Those are running day LED lights. Of course, you do have the option for auto high beam assist. Jaguar in the UK actually has a system to where your high beams, when they come on at night, and this is only for a European option, they're talking about it for maybe the US in 2022, but when your high beams are on, it'll actually produce a lower beam image to the oncoming traffic, and you'll actually be able to keep your high beams on if it's just a 2-lane highway. Does come with adaptive cruise control for whenever you're in any kind of a traffic situation. The car will slow down all the way to 0, come to a full, complete stop. Definitely good for the Charlotte or Atlanta traffic. All you really have to do is steer the car. And then there's also Drive Assist Pack. Drive Assist Pack gives you the option to where it's a self-driving vehicle. Now, the thing with that is, so the steering wheel actually senses if you have your hands on the wheel or not. So if the car feels that your hands are not on the wheel, it's going to let you know. It'll ding at you probably about every 30 seconds or so. The car's going to let you know, hey, get your hands back on the steering wheel. And it's looking out for your safety as well. The car does have surround cameras as well. Whenever you put the car in reverse, it does have an overhead view, giving you full optimization of the cameras, seeing where you're at while parking the vehicle. Well, guys, that really sums up everything. I just wanted to take the time, a few minutes here, to say thank you guys so much for having us on here. Lee McLellan and myself, Kyle Adams. Please call us up here at the dealership. Our phone number here is 864-255-8888. Please give us a call, and we'll certainly see what we can do to help you guys out getting either a Porsche or a Jaguar I-Pace.